YouTube and welcome to channel Anna Bella today. Today I'm going to be finally reviewing Wonder Woman. Everybody knows what a big success Wonder Woman was for the DC Extended Universe. It was the film that redeemed superhero movies and redeemed DC itself. I'm gonna basically, spoiler warning, just gonna put that out there. First things first, I'm going to do like the whole, there was this whole war with the feminists and the anti-feminists saying in this film, Wonder Woman had a female director, which is great because there are so few films, big Hollywood blockbusters that are made done by females, Jane Campion films aside. So that in itself is great. Did they sexualise Wonder Woman? Did they empower her? Yes, they did both. Did they sexualise Steve Trevor and did they empower him? They did both. In fact, Wonder Woman is one of the most gender equal films. The only other one recently, weirdly enough, could be classed as Suicide Squad, where they actually depicted Joker and Harley Quinn rather equally. Moving on from that. So now we've got that out of the way and done, I'm going to focus on the film. The film could be broken down into three main parts. One, Wonder Woman origin, where we started off on the island of Theramaskia. Yes, that's how it's pronounced, people. Theramaskia. That's the island where she lives with her mother, Hippolyta, who is Queen of the Amazons. And she has been saying for years that Wonder Woman was sculpted from clay, when actually she did the whole thing with Zeus. Anyway, moving on, it's Zeus. If Zeus is involved, it's going to be sex, because let's face it, how many demigod children does he have? Hercules, and the list goes on and 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 on. Perseus and several others. Yeah, it's Zeus. Basically, if Zeus is involved, it's going to be the dirty. Sorry. Yeah. Lovely. So Wonder Woman has a lovely sheltered childhood on Theramaskia, and we get that lovely explanation about Zeus and Ares having this whole sort of, Dad, I want to be king, and Zeus is like, no, you're not good enough, you know, we're not going to trust you. So you've got that. So you've got a nice origin of Wonder Woman story, but they don't complete it because they keep it a mystery, which is always nice. And then you have the whole Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor. So she finds Steve Trevor, she gets involved in the First World War. Originally Wonder Woman was set in the Second World War, but they changed that for the film, which was a great decision, because otherwise it would be basically doing Captain America, which is Marvel, with a woman. And I'm glad that they actually changed it, because the First World War had so many conflicting reasons that people today are still talking about what caused the Second World War. Was it the shooting of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Serbia by the Black Hand Gang? How on earth did that cause all-out war in Europe? And England got involved because we had a treaty with Belgium, and Belgium got invaded by the Germans, and we went to go and basically say, get out of Belgium, Germany. Yeah. And there was a whole arms race, and by arms race I mean tanks. I don't mean nukes, because they didn't have nukes. They were building tanks, very, very early tanks, basically cars that went poop, poop, poop and got stuck in the mud. But they were there, and big warships with huge, massive missiles, or guns, basically. That's basically it, because we didn't have pineapple bombs or any of the other kind of bombs yet. They were all to come. But we did develop mustard gas. Anyway, moving on, which is why we then have Dr. Poison. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Wonder Woman, Steve Trevor, brilliant, absolutely brilliant relationship. It was done lovingly, creatively, and subtly. It was great. We actually got to know the characters in this film. We got to know Hippolyta really well. We got to know Hippolyta's sister really well. We got to know Wonder Woman really well, from a child to an adult to how she is. We got to know Steve Trevor really well. We then got to London, which is awful because London is a great city, but it is very dirty. Sorry, even today it is very dirty. It's just pollution, which makes it really warm, even though it's England. Anyway, and London is an awesome city. I love London. It just has pollution. Sorry, it's the transport. Go deal. And I love the fact that the first thing Wonder Woman sees is she sees this woman with a baby, and she's like, ah, human baby. I love that. It's so, so cute. because she's never seen one before. So she's going around all wide-eyed, like fish out of water, like, what is this, what is this, what is this? And we have that lovely scene where she meets Etta Candy and they take her clothes shopping. I love that. The fact that she's like, how do you fight in this? This is just useless. And then we have the portion of the movie which I call the Suicide Squad beginning, or the beginning of Task Force X, because unfortunately Argos, which Steve Trevor is the head of in the comics, he is the head of, and Amanda Waller is the director under him. Yes, Steve Trevor, the honourable hero, is in charge of Argos, and Argos's main remit is to research, is to do surveillance, research, exploit, and basically exploit the metahumans for the greater good of keeping humans safe. So that's where it comes from, and that's why Wonder Woman is so crucial, because she's the first metahuman. So you've got the origins of Wonder Woman, this Wonder Woman-Steve Trevor relationship, and then you've got Wonder Woman and the first ever Suicide Squad. Except it's done under British intelligence, which is why you've got that discretion. And there are so many awesome moments in this movie. I'm going to pick out the No Man's Land one. That was a brilliant character moment. And it was a brilliant character moment, not because Wonder Woman is a demigod, because she didn't know that she was a demigod. She didn't know that she had those powers at that point. At that point, she just wanted to help. And we haven't seen that in a long time, because with Superman, he gets these powers and he says, right, I'm going to do something good with my powers. Wonder Woman, it's the other way round. Wonder Woman is, I'm a person, there are loads of other people, how can I help them? Oh, I've got powers? Oh, that's great, that means I can help more. Which is completely different to the boys. Superman, you've kind of got a similar thing, but he's also got the burden of it. Wonder Woman, yes, it's burdensome, but she's innately good. She's always had a good character. Yes, Superman, Clark, Kal-El, whoever, has a good character, but he doesn't have the same sort of wish to do good innately. She isn't kind, and weirdly enough, this is where Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn are actually similar, because everything they do comes from the fact, I want to help others based on love, which is really, really weird. Yes, Harley Quinn does love the Joker, but that comes from a genuinely good emotion twisted to become evil, because she loves an evil guy, and that's just the way it is. But their cores are very similar, even though Wonder Woman's a demigod and the other one's a Jewish psychiatrist. So, what are you going to do? And that's what makes them quite fascinating. Oddly enough, Wonder Woman is also a character that, within the female community, we say, who are you, Wonder Woman? Are you Wonder Woman? There is this added pressure with her. It's sort of like, we respect Superman and we respect and admire Superman and Wonder Woman, but they also give us additional pressures on our lives, which means that we have this love-hate relationship with them because they're too good. They're two good characters, and even when they are sort of gods becoming humans, because that's what DC does really well, it also, sometimes they're too gritty or they're too high-minded, and this is a problem that you get with Batman. He is so, it's my way or the highway, I am Batman, this is my version of justice, anybody else can go away, the only other person who can stand up to me is Amanda Waller, because she, let's face it, Batman just keeps hitting the wall, which is Amanda Waller, continually. It's like, no, 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 and Amanda Waller's like, Bruce, what on earth are you doing? Fine, I'll just use you to bring in metahumans so I can experiment on them for Task Force X. Anyway, moving on, that's another movie. This is supposed to be about Wonder Woman. And this is the problem. You respect and admire Wonder Woman and Superman, but you'd want to have a chat with Harley Quinn and Batman. And that's the thing. Harley Quinn and Batman keep it human because they are humans. Wonder Woman and Superman, because they are demigods. One's an alien demigod and the other one is the daughter of Zeus. I love Greek mythology, isn't it wonderful? And I love the Amazons. They did them beautifully. And I love the fact that there wasn't any columns either on the island, because that is a phallic symbol and you wouldn't have columns. Anyway, moving on. Yes, classics, isn't it great? There. And that's the thing. But the Wonder Woman that they actually portrayed, they portrayed her as this innocent person, they portrayed her as a warrior, they portrayed her as the spy. I loved it when she put on her glasses to make her more intelligent. Look, I'm blonde and I have absolutely no intelligence, but I put these on and magically I I'm intelligent. No, it doesn't work that. Glasses do not make a person intelligent, but I love the fact that they do that. Even though Harley Quinn did it the other way, it's sort of like she started off with glasses, then lost glasses, and it made her dumb. But we know that isn't true. Harley Quinn's incredibly smart, and Wonder Woman started off with no glasses and gained glasses because she became Diana Prince. Anyway, moving on. So, you've got the origins, you've got the whole Wonder Woman Steve Trevor, then you've got Wonder Woman and the squad, and they go there, and she gets to know all the characters. And they all have their own backstories, and we actually get time with them to get to know them. And admittedly, they don't have superpowers, they're just regular people, but they're all unique and different, and they're all on this mission for varying different reasons. And yes, racism is brought up because you've got, I think it's the Arabian actor who's really, really good and knows Shakespeare, but nobody will employ him because of his colour, which is, you know, it's the time. Welcome to 1914. And it was really well done. They did the time period well, they did all of that well, and then at the end of the film you get the Wonder Woman origin coming up, which I thought was great. I'm rushing to explain the whole Ares thing and the whole twist with the villains. I'm loving the fact that Dr. Poison got away, because maybe she's going to come back and maybe we're going to deal with her later, but I'm also loving the fact that Dr. Poison represented the broken, fallen woman, which was interesting in itself, and Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, let her go. And that's interesting in itself. I'm loving the fact that the general then, like, was able to be defeated quite easily, and then we had a big battle with Ares. And I like how that was, because I like how Ares was this weedy guy, just subtly giving the images, like, you will do this, you will do that. Because I think people forget, yes, Ares is the god of war whose bed he blankets with the skin of men he's killed. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he literally skins men. He doesn't go out there with a knife and do it himself. He gets others to do it. There are more crafty ways, cunning ways, sly ways to do it. And I think that that's interesting in itself, because humankind, mankind, womankind does have this cruelty within it. Have you ever been in a room full of bitchy women? Have you ever been in a room full of testosterone, angry, physical men? They're awful. There are sides to humanity that are very, very primitive and awful. And I think that that was an interesting way of doing things. And actually having Ares look quite weak actually gave him more power, because you wouldn't suspect that that was actually that. Yes, I'm loving the fact that we had the scenes, oh, women can't be in this room. Anyway, moving on, we've dealt with that. I am going to bring back to the point of what is it with DC and men in planes and them blowing up? Because we had the whole thing in 2016 Suicide Squad, the Joker being in a helicopter, it gets shot down, and everybody presumes he's dead. But obviously, as we know, whenever the Joker dies, he never dies. Could the same be said of Steve Trevor? Because, I mean, he did bathe in that special pool in Themyscira. Did that make him immortal? Question mark. Anyway, so for all intents and purposes, Steve Trevor is officially dead. And I loved Etta Candy. I thought she was brilliant. She is basically the white ginger version who is nicer. She's basically the white ginger, nice version of Amanda Waller, basically. In short. And that is interesting in herself, because in the comics, Wonder Woman comics, Etta Candy is actually a black woman. She does not have an afro, she has braids, and she's actually a fat little black woman, which is so cute, rather than a fat ginger woman. You know, the fat people get representation in DC Comics. Admittedly, either as Amanda Waller with a fat black American with an afro, or Etta Candy, who is either fat, white and ginger, or fat, black with braids. So, I mean, it's great, lots of representation from all ethnicities, and particularly two groups that get bullied a lot, gingers and people who are black. So that's kind of good. I'm not saying that black people get bullied all the time, but there's racism. And we are against racism, we do not like it. Anyway, so it's always good to have representation, and in fact Suicide Squad in 2016 was one of the most racially diverse films Hollywood have made, and you could actually argue that Wonder Woman was also one of the most racially diverse films that Hollywood made, particularly in the squad that, well, the first Suicide Squad that Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman took in World War I. So I thought that was epic. What is it about planes and in DC? It's like, we're getting on a plane. Oh no, are you the main lead? You're gonna die. Oh no, don't get on it. It's something. DC does not like helicopters and it doesn't like planes, particularly when they've got a male protagonist in them. They tend to blow them up. But Steve Trevor's sacrifice reminded Wonder Woman about love, which is really good. And the Joker dying in his helicopter allowed Harley Quinn to kill Enchantress. And in fact, they couldn't have called Superman to kill Enchantress because in DC, Superman is weak against magic. So it had to be somebody who wasn't an alien from Krypton. Yeah, because that's DC logic. If you're an alien from Krypton, Earth magic can stop you. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with the awesome film that was Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was a great film, had a coherent plot, didn't have, you know, crazy editing with scissors that cut everything around. Though if you've actually read a Suicide Squad comic, they are pretty much... Well, the New 52 was anyway, because it got critically panned. Anyway, I'm going to save that for my DC Comics part, my DC Comic Collection Part 3 review, which I will be doing. This is my Wonder Woman film review. Out of 5, I'd give it 5 for basically everything. It was a really, really good story, and the best scene that sums everything up is the No Man's Land scene. She's doing it because she wants to do it. She would do it even if she didn't have powers. She would still be helping, because that's who Wonder Woman is. Which is an epic, epic thing to do. In short, Wonder Woman, it's not her powers that make her. It's actually her character and her integrity and her goodness and her kindness that stands out. I'm loving the fact that they use horses, because horses are awesome. Admittedly, Wonder Woman does look a bit like She-Ra from the 1980s and Xena the Warrior Princess, which is kind of cool. I love the new costume, think it worked. It worked on so many levels. It was such a good movie. And it was a great movie that other women could go to. Admittedly, if you're a bloke, you're there for completely different reasons, which I understand. If you're a woman, you're also there for completely different reasons. Because, I mean, who wants to look? You can look at Chris Pine, and the men can look at Wonder Woman, whoopty-doodah. It's equality, people. We can Google who you want to Google. Goggle, whatever. Who cares? So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I know, yes, I have cut myself. It is slowly healing. So, yes, the Wonder Woman movie, 2 thumbs up. It was brilliant. Will Steve Trevor come back? Probably, because he signed a multi-picture deal, very much like Jared Leto, Margot Robbie, and the woman who plays Wonder Woman. And because Wonder Woman's film was so well received, she's getting an increased part in Justice League, which is really, really good, because I think that will help everything. It looks like Superman probably will be coming back in Justice League, probably at the end, because, you know, let's get to know all the other characters first, the ones that have lesser powers. But admittedly, maybe Wonder Woman will fly in Justice League. That would be so cool, because she can. I'm really looking forward to that. It's restored my faith in DC. I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad 2. I just hope they get a nice director for it. Preferably not Val Kilmer. He's an actor, Miriam. Mel Gibson. Oh, that's awful. Oh, we don't want Mel Gibson. No. Suicide Squad 2 needs a different director. And I'm looking forward to the Joker and Harley Quinn movie that's going to come out. And I'm looking forward to Gotham City Sirens. So there's a whole stack of movies on DC's plate. I hope they actually give them more than 6 weeks to develop. And we're also getting Wonder Woman 2, which is a really good sign, because she did really well. And it's awesome. And to be absolutely honest, she probably is going to make a lot of money. Well, a lot more money. And it'll probably be a better story. Sorry, but it just is. I mean, we've seen Batman ad nauseum, and we've seen Superman ad nauseum, to the point of, oh, I'm bored. And it's actually quite nice to see something new and something different. That's why people are interested in Suicide Squad and the villains, and people are interested in Argus, because I think their roles are just going to bloom. Because it's also interesting, why is Wonder Woman working at the Louvre? Well, what's she doing there? She's gathering meta-human objects and facts and other things safely, because she had an excellent education. Yay for Hippolyta. All those language learning, all that language learning and cultural education paid off, because not only was she trained to be an ultimate warrior, she was trained in all the languages of the world, because Hippolyta is smart. Because when Zeus gives you a god-killer baby, you better train it for politics. Hippolyta is an awesome mum. Wonder Woman was an awesome film. And this is the end of the review. 2 thumbs up, DC. Well done. Your universe is back on track with one film. Please, Justice League, do not ruin the wonderful work that Wonder Woman has actually done. And in fact, Suicide Squad has actually done some great work. Admittedly, plot-wise, it was a bit of a mess, but made a lot of money. And it won an Oscar for costume and makeup. And it did the characters really well. It was a shame they didn't have a decent story. Well, they did. It was just really rubbishly edited and the Joker was underused. But I kind of like that, because that leads you, we can do more. We can build, you know, we can build. Hopefully Justice League will build on this. Yay! Bye! Please like, comment and subscribe. And I'm sorry it's taken me ages to actually do this Wonder Woman review. Go watch it and go buy it, because it's an awesome film. Bye!